Hey, welcome back to Sunbird Garage. That's not the green car. Granny's outside for the minute. Moment, minute, I don't know. And that's not the green car either. That's my Formula, which has been evicted from the garage for the moment. Don't look at Granny's pad. And well, hey, no green car in here either. So if you've been following me for any length of time, you know this garage has been kind of an ongoing project, and finally the drywall's up, first coat of tape and mud is in. Hopefully it'll be done in the next few days here, and then we can get out here and paint. But where's the green car? Well, Bill's still down at Bill's. I'm up here in Northeast Ohio. Bill is down in Tennessee, about 9 hours from me, and he's continued to work on the project. So thanks to Bill, the car is making some progress. And this is just kind of a little intro video for what Bill has gotten done. So he's got the headers in, and he made the transmission torque arm transmission crossmember piece. So without further ado, I'll send this over to Bill and he'll tell you the update.
All right, everybody, here's a little update on Kevin's high school car rebuild. And I know we were calling it Oscar because we were looking for something green, but I think we've changed her name because she's a she, so we went with the only other obvious green she I could think of, which is Fiona, Princess Fiona from Shrek. So it's perfectly ugly and perfectly a great name for this car. So with that, I want to give a quick update where I'm at. After fighting and fighting and fighting, I have successfully installed the headers on both sides. They're in there. It's on. But I got it. These are horrible to install. Never recommend anybody ever use these headers ever again. But Kevin had these on his car in high school, so he wanted them back on his car, and I understand that. I can respect that. But the headers are on. I've got the heater hoses on, as you can see. Obviously, you've seen that. I got spark plugs on this side. Wires are back on this side. I do have to come up with a clamp of some kind to attach it over there. So, I can move the front of the breather here. The breather's in the way. I wanted to come around the other way. I just have to fool with it. But I'd like to have it so it's attached to maybe this bolt here with a clip so that they don't touch the headers as much as I can stop. And what else did I get done? I got the transmission cross member in. That's another video, so I will leave that out of this comment for this quick little video. But I'm working now on, I also got the motor mounts are in. I had to take them out to get the headers in. I also had to take the steering box out. I didn't have to, but I thought I did. So I got the steering box back on, the steering arms back attached. That's back together. The motor mounts are in on both sides. As I said, the transmission is in. The cross member is in. So it's coming along. He's got me some more parts came in. I got the gauges and a gauge mount, so I need that to fill the holes, and I really don't want to start it up without knowing what the oil pressure is and the water temperature is accurate. Let's do it right and do it once. Needs to do it anyway, so let's just do this. So I'm going to probably put those actually right here above, below the radio, between the radio and the shifter. I'm going to probably put them right there. Maybe they'll have to go over to the left a little bit more, but I like them over there. It's easier to see there. So that's the plan for that. Might start tackling that later. I still have to put the drive shaft in. Like I said, I got the cross member in, but it's going to be the next video. So with that, I'm going to end this video, and we're going to start the next one. Okay, back Okay, back to the transmission cross member. Now, basically, I'm going to give you a quick lesson. The 204R is what we put in here, and from bell housing to tail housing, it is exactly the same length as the 350. How a turbo hydromatic 350. And of course, my compressor kicked in. I just realized I really need to explain this torque arm mount a little bit better than what I did. That torque arm up in there. Trying to get a better lighting in for you. See how that's mounted? That bracket where the bolt goes through the torque arm, normally the bolt goes from the transmission to, and the nut goes on this end basically, and the bracket's all reversed, and this goes to the transmission. It's hard to film this. It's hard for you to see that, I'm sorry. But it basically goes, I'm going to redo this. Okay, everybody, I'm going to try to refilm this again. I just started to film and my compressor kicked on, of course, just the way timing always works. Okay, what I'm going to talk about tonight now is installing a 200R4, a 4R, whatever you want to call it, into an H-body. Now, it is exactly the same length as a 200, a turbo 350, or a 4-speed. They're all the same length. So the problem is the mount is further back. So the mount is much further back on the transmission. On a turbo 350, the mount is, here's one right here. I'm sorry, here's the turbo 350. So you can see the mount is in front of the tail housing. On a turbo 200, on the 200R4, it's back here. It's all the way towards the tail housing, which I'm going to show you now. But, so that's one things I wanted you to understand why we have to do what we're doing here. So I have created a nice template. This is basically going to move the stock cross member back 6 1/4 inches. 6.5 inches, I'm sorry, 6.5 inches. So these are the holes for where the factory cross member were. So we moved the cross member back to this location using 3-inch by 2-inch angle iron. So this is 2 by 3. This should be bent. I didn't bend it because I don't want it bent, so to say, but for the template reasons. But here is where you mount your torque arm. So what you're going to do is basically take the bracket off the transmission, where it bolts with the 3 bolts to the bell housing. Take that bracket and flip it around. So now the flat end sits against the bracket here. Instead of mounting on the transmission, we're mounting it on the angle iron right about here, which I'll show you, just to give you an idea. And also I want to tell you, on the other side, it's basically exactly the same. Okay, so we're talking 1.5 inches out, inch back, and then 6.5 inches back on each hole. Okay, that's not that difficult to do. I will gladly provide get anybody a copy of the template that wants it. Just contact me and I will be able to help you. Or you ask Kevin and Kevin will get you in touch with me. But on the passenger side, basically the bracket's basically the same, okay, except you're 2 inches on this side versus this side of the, so you got your 2-inch here and your 3-inch on this side, okay? So, but on this corner, we have to lop off this part and this corner of it. There's just not enough room. It's actually just wiggle room, so to say, so that the transmission is not rubbing against, I'm trying to get you a good video here, so the transmission doesn't wind up rubbing. If you see that little diagonal angle I've got the flashlight pointing at, that's what I want to give you a little extra room, so there's more room. I apologize, it's really tough to film being on my back by myself, but I want more room here. I want a little more room here so that you, otherwise it's really almost touching the transmission right here. So just that little bit, it's only need a 1/4 inch. That's enough room. It's not going to hit it. It doesn't move around that much. So just to show you that, to show you how this mounts now. And of course the headers are in the way now. So basically you see the stock cross member is there. and it's almost to the back of the transmission. I'm just trying to get you a light here. See it, how close it is to the tail shaft of the transmission. However, the tail shaft still is at the same spot on the car. Just the mount is further back. I hope that helps everybody understand that. So it's pretty easy. So basically what we're doing is using the angle iron to move the stock cross member back further. Can you see that? Just basically slide it back. Same thing on the passenger side. Slide it back. And I'm trying to do the best I can with this camera work. It's really difficult, but you can see better how I cut that corner off there. It looks a little better in this video. But basically that's all there is. And if you ask me how did I get the speedometer cable, I don't know yet. I have not done that yet. I have the same brackets on my car that I've been using for 6 or 7 years now, and it works fine. I don't have the speedometer cable hooked up, but I think I'm going to have to put a hole somewhere in here in a cross member and run the cable through that hole, which is going to be fun, but it's doable. It's all doable. I might have to make a plate to add on it. When I get to that, I'll let you all see the video on that too, because I'm thinking about making a bracket to go over the top, possibly, to make that angle iron a little stronger again. I've been thinking about it. I just don't know how I'm going to do it yet. So I hope that helps you guys get an idea on how to do this. This is the best I've been able to get a video of this so far. So I hope you see what I did. Stock cross member. Okay. So instead of all this custom fabrication, it's just 2 pieces of angle iron. It's really, really simple. Stock bolts, you know, go right in the holes and then you're done. Doesn't take very much. Okay. All right, guys. Back to work. Okay. Hi, everyone. I just wanted Kevin asked me to give a little video on what's going on with the car, so you guys understand. And I wanted to start the story with, why is it here and not up at Kevin's? Well, there's a couple of good reasons for that. First of all, Kevin's garage is under construction. As of today, sheetrock was getting its first coat of spackle. So if you're following it on, you'll see that on his storyline probably before you see this story. It might come out different, but his garage is not ready right now, and he's trying to get that finished. He's been trying for a little over a year now to get that all tightened up. So I'm going to just walk around and talk about that. So that's the first reason. Second reason, the car was in Alabama. So it had to come halfway anyway. And we decided it was easier to just have him come to me and have me do it, because I have the room and the equipment to do it all, and the knowledge, of course. But it just made sense. So that's why it's here and not at his garage. So with that, he wanted to show what was left to be done. As of right now, I've got the engine pretty much in. The headers are in. The transmission cross member is in. I showed you a video on that. I've also got a lot of little stuff starting to get taken care of. So power steering pump and hoses, I was working on that the other night, and I was tired from work all day, so that's pretty much at a stop at this point. But so what's left now to do? Dipstick tube, spark plugs, wires on this side. They go down on the bottom. They go around the bottom of the engine and come back up. So that's something I got to crawl under the car to do. So the spark plug wires to do. The radiator, the heater, upper and lower hose, of course. Finish mounting the power steering pump, fan, electrical. I did get a Ford starter solenoid to install over here. That came in. I got that yesterday. That came in, so that'll get wired in. I've kind of been holding off until I get the parts. I've also got the gauges, which he sent, so I will be, I need to put them in to block off all the holes that they have. Of course, we don't want a big oil leak and a coolant leak, so they have to go in. Not much left on this side, except for moving those spark plug looms and wiring up everything and get, vacuum lines and little stuff like that. It's close. And frankly, I'm only going to get it as close as it can go till it's ready to fire. And then I we'll leave it be till Kevin can come back down so he can hear it fire for the first time. That's the right thing to do, is have it ready to go and let him hear that. Still got to do drive shaft. I still have to do speedo cable, shifter cable, all that kind of stuff still needs to be done. Fluids, inspection cover, but most of it's done. I mean, it's in the car. So yeah, I just wanted to give you the reasons why it's here and not at his house. And it just makes sense. I have the room, the time, and the ability to do it where he really doesn't have it right now. So, and he wanted the car done, so we can have it, shake it down a bit, and have it ready for next year's Power Tour. It's Plan A. As most people know what Power Tour is, Plan A is doing pretty good. So, all right. We'll talk about this more when I get another day's worth of work done, which will probably be tomorrow. Today I'm going to take care of my lawn, which is getting extremely tall, so that needs to be done. So this maybe I'll play with tonight or tomorrow, but we're going to stop there. All right, guys, take care.